Good evening, I'm Dagan McDowell.
And I'm Charlie Hurt, in for Sean Duffy. Welcome to The Bottom Line.
Biden's blue wall is falling down, falling down, falling down. Biden's blue wall is falling down. And you might have to thank the ladies.
Brand new polling shows if the election were held today, Trump would take Biden in almost all 7 swing states. A lot of that lead, ironically, coming from independent voters whose minds have, in fact, not changed since what Democrats thought would be doomsday for Trump, his conviction.
And it's not just the independents who are clinging to Trump. Biden's losing his charm with females, women voters as well. His lead with the ladies has slipped about 8 percentage points since the 2020 election. This is the weakest lead a Democrat has had with women since 2004.
And it's Black and Hispanic women leading that charge. Biden taking double-digit hits with both demographics.
And if you're wondering why, in part, it's because of the economy. Stupid, well, not you at home, stupid Joe Biden. 72% of younger women say it's inflation that's driving them away from Biden, and it's the same feeling for more than half of both Black and Latino women.
Let's bring in host of Stacy on the Right on Sirius XM Patriot, Stacy Washington, along with the host of the Ben Ferguson Show and co-host of Verdict with Ted Cruz, Ben Ferguson. So, Stacy, great to see you both. Stacy, I got to ask you, what is your sense of how these voters are handling Joe Biden, their thoughts about Joe Biden these days?
So, Charlie, I think that what you were reporting there, you were talking about the ladies. The ladies have always been stalwart supporters of the Democrats, the suburban moms, the wine box moms, the upper middle class moms, always kind of break for the Democrats. And now they're having to deal with these ridiculous prices. They're looking at their children's futures, and it's not as bright as it once was. And when you want to move up, you want to get into that neighborhood your best friend moved into during the Trump years, you can't afford it because it's $800 more a month for a $300,000 home at a 6.9% interest rate, as opposed to 2.77, which was extraordinarily low during the Trump years. So that's just one metric. There's also the possibility of seeing your young adult kids shipped off to the trench warfare of Ukraine, even your daughters, under this consideration of possibly drafting women. But most importantly, Charlie, it is the illegal immigration. These stories about young women out on a jog, a mom of 5 out running, taking a hike, and these women being raped, kidnapped, and murdered. These stories are hitting us every week. And I think wine box moms, lefty moms, women who love EVs, if you're on the left and that's been comfortable for you, it's no longer comfortable, and you have to make some new decisions.
Ben, it's also the fact that I think I can speak for all women. Well, I can't, but I'm about to. It's
Friday. Go for it.
It's having these ghouls in charge tell women their reality is not real.
Yeah.
It is that, well, that our perception is fogged by our politics, that what we're feeling and experiencing, it gets dismissed at every turn by these people, whether it's grocery prices, whether it's death and rape because of the wide open border. At every turn, I call it ass lighting because it sets my ass on fire when I have to listen to these people tell me that it's not real.
Yeah, look, it's the economy stupid, it's crime stupid, it's costs of goods and services stupid. I go back and keep it simple here. You cannot continue to lie to moms in this country, and many of them who are single mothers who are the breadwinners and are trying hard to give their lives, their kids a great life. And when you see what's happening here, where home ownership is becoming unobtainable for many, rent rates are through the roof, vehicle prices, used cars through the roof, food, groceries, going out to, parents don't like saying no. I have 3 boys. I don't like saying no. And mothers really don't like saying no to giving their kids everything they can offer in life. And right now, I think many Americans are having to say no to their kids like never before. Well, this is the first time we've experienced this, where there's so many Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck and asking the question, why? Why are we having to say no? And why are we struggling so much? And it's simple. It's Bidenomics. It's the economy. And this is a president that doesn't understand the struggles right now. The Democratic Party, who claims that they understand your struggle, clearly does not understand the struggle that Americans are having. And so when you look at 8% going to Donald Trump, yeah, when things get tough, you don't really care about his, quote, mean tweets back from 4 years ago.
Right. So it turns out that minority voters and women voters care about the same thing that all voters care about. So under Biden, owning a home, a car, or being able to afford basic necessities are now luxuries only available to the elite few.
And our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen must still be tripping on some magic mushrooms if she thinks this problem has been brewing for decades.
The president has recognized, as I have, that Americans, many American households, are really struggling to cover some of the basic necessities of life. And that ranges from health care to housing to child care to education. And these costs have gone up, frankly, over decades now and are extremely burdensome.
Decades?
Yeah.
Decades? Try just 4 years. You can see the jump in inflation right here.
See that chart? See that chart, Janet?
Yeah.
You know it's bad when the Washington Post is calling out Biden, saying he, quote, forged ahead with more costly student debt cancellation that benefits a select few Americans while doing nothing to make college more affordable. Yeah, 85% of Americans have no college debt.
It's reached the point where even a Harvard research associate is admitting to NPR that the double whammy of high prices and high mortgage rates has, quote, left home ownership out of the reach for all but the most advantaged households. Stacy, it seems pretty obvious what's going on, but Joe Biden and the Democrats are trying to convince people that this is not going on and that inflation, and also don't forget, remember when Janet Yellen was insisting that inflation was transitory and about to go away?
Yeah, well, so look, I don't believe your lying eyes, right, Charlie? Don't believe your lying eyes, Americans. But here's what I know. I know that Janet Yellen is indeed telling the truth, that prices are higher since they were 40 years ago. That's natural. But we're not talking about normal growth of prices over time. We're talking about rampant double-digit inflation that stacks up. It's cumulative. It's not something that you can average. So Americans are feeling it, and they're talking about it when they're sitting around the table, when they're going out for dinner. Overall prices are up 20.1% since Biden took office. Gas prices up 55.3%. Electricity up 29%. Rent is up 21.2%. Grocery prices up 21.2%. Real average weekly earnings. So look, the idea here is, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? I don't care if you're a woman or if you're black or if you're a man or, whatever you are, you're experiencing this in real time. And Janet Yellen is kind of testifying like someone's got her cat and they're kidnapped him and they're not going to let her have her cat back unless she makes it everybody else's fault. It's not everybody else's fault. I respect her, but she's wrong here.
Yeah, I love how they try to dress her up now. Have you noticed this? Kind of like she's a grandmother of America, and they put her like by these beautiful flowers, and she's just looking out for you. She is so out of touch with the reality of the average grandmother in this country or mother in this country. And look, I go back to something you guys talked about a moment ago. You combine economic insecurity, financial insecurity, paycheck to paycheck mentality with high crime in this country, and then women having to look over their shoulders at the same time. And the illegal immigrants are coming in and getting everything for free, and a massive multi-billion-dollar drain on our tax dollars right now, on top of your state tax dollars, which are also being drained. Just look at Colorado and Denver. They're having to take away from law enforcement resources just to take care of illegal immigrants. You combine those two together, and I think we're at a point now, no matter what Joe Biden says or Janet Yellen says or what he says during the debate this coming week, the American people are not going to believe that Bidenomics and Janet Yellen are looking out for their best interests.
And while Biden pisses away our tax dollars, Americans aren't returning the favor.
Biden's campaign raised only $85 million last month, far short of Trump's $141 million, as 45 attracts big money from the bull to the valley.
Even the Winklevoss twins, known for suing Mark Zuckerberg over the creation of Facebook, each donated $1 million in Bitcoin to Trump, stating that he's got their vote in November in hopes that he'll end Biden's war on cryptocurrency. Before we jump, Stacy.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, 30% of all of that money that he raked in after the conviction was new donors to WinRed, people who'd never previously donated. I was one of the people, me and my producer were giggling about taking the website down for the second time within that 24 hours when we put our money in. So, look, everybody's in for Trump. Wasn't I on here and went viral last time when I said I'm gangster, I'm voting for the felon? And then now my words come true. I'm just somebody's mom on the radio and television and now Fox News. I'm voting for Trump. And so are a lot of other people who've never, ever voted for a Republican before. Not a shock. Biden stinks.
Ben.
Yeah, I'm gangster and I'm voting for Trump. I'm going to steal that, Stacy. I couldn't agree with you more. Every time that they go after him, whether it's through the court system or through the media attacking him or trying to silence him, I think Americans now are actually hearing the words from 4 years ago. If they'll do it to me, they will do it to you. And that is why so many Americans now are giving to Donald Trump, because they realize now law and order is no longer a thing in this country. We have politicians who are directing the DOJ and the FBI to go after Americans. There are two different justice systems in this country, and now the American people are terrified of it, and they should be, by the way.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ben Ferguson. Stacy Washington.